Hello, this is KRBrickBot, and here's the other half of the iconic Tobot duo, Tobot Evolution Y, the international version. So the packaging is the same size and styling as Evolution X's box. The hourglass-shaped box, the unusual shape of that. The layout from the physical robot mode toy to the mid-transformation toy stock photo to the rendered car mode. Toki action speed up, upgraded with Evolution Y. Level 2 change up difficulty level. Tobot on one side. Evolution Y, Tobot on the other side. Also pretty minimalistic back with a green highlights and a stock photo, and Toki activates robot mode. And Corey, and absolutely no cross-sell. He's holding tight in that packaging. And the key. So Tobot Y evolved from a Kia Forte Coupe into this fictional, really sleek two-door spoilery race car style futuristic car. Yeah, comparing to X, I think it does still look a little squash proportion compared to real cars, and it might have the similar wheelbase length. And it also looks a little taller for a car this size. It's like a midway between an actually realistic proportion car and some, kiddie fight car. It's also a very curvaceous sports car with all those curves and angles just dipping in the spoiler like that into it, falling down to its Y-shaped, completely clean bumper in front. And some nice silver painted headlights over transparent red plastic, mind you, even though that really doesn't shine through light piping, and some more curves and inward vents like in the doors, and some more subtle curves over the mud guards and such, and black underlying trim here. Again, with these big Tobot toys, all the separate color parts are separate plastic pieces and very little paint. Just silver on the here and on these ridiculously tiny back windows for a two-seater. Doesn't look practical for anyone to peek out of here. And the rear is also very futuristically modern, decorated with these very angled taillights and the silver chromed Y Toki spot. Too bad he doesn't have the same chromed wheels as X here, just silver paint. And this curved backward spoiler, this inward spoiler, which is detachable by the way, for attaching a shield unit sold separately, which gives them big red boosters. Yeah, so that's a different look. Yeah, I guess the cockpit does look a little thin compared to the rest of the car. Yeah, like the doors are way too wide and tall while the windows are too narrow. And there's all those golden stickers to sticker them up, because kids like stickering up things. Why with these stickers would be like if in an alternate timeline where Evolution Y joined the Athlon races. So it's mostly red and green Italian style colorings for all the sides and on the roof and such. Like this number 78. Tobot here, like the right bumper, right bumper, with some cryptic arrangement of numbers and letters. So the main differences between the original Korean stickers and this one is like the spoiler and the grille sections. They have a different Tobot design. These are black and blue, while those were in the same colors as the other stickers. And on the side front door stickers, the names of the boys have been changed from their Korean localization names to their international localization names. And of course, I'm not going to be applying any of them because that's not show accurate. Size comparisons here, as you can see, compared with X, Y is longer and also shorter as sports cars versus SUVs is. And bringing in Avante or Elantra Fron. As I said, the Carbot and Tobot proportions are quite different. This is wider and shorter. They're not quite the same. Different idealized designs. And a modern leader class, which lengthwise is about similar. And a biker bot, but not the biker bots from Tobot. So I think this is a pretty good stylish upgrade for Y's second phase before eventually turning into a helicopter. Zipping to the transformation. You can plug the key in and turning it doesn't do anything. Rather, pressing it all the way will unlatch that spring-loaded button to open this center trunk piece. Freestanding leg suspension. Transformation's a bit fiddly, supposedly for 4-year-olds. First, you have to unlatch that hand, that spring-loaded hand, and make sure just to carefully, just strategically, and not forcibly pull that out. The entire back section unlatches and just generally forms a lot of collapsing kibble. Shoulder flaps in, and some very convenient arrows tell you to slide those joints into the torso. Lift that over-jutting kibble to make just enough clearance for the waist. And finish with the subtly missable steps of unlatching the shoulder doors a whole inch and collapsing the chest over the little string buttons. Evolution Y is in a lighter azure blue hue than his original form, except for that one time he was introduced in a preliminary color set. Design wise, he looks a bit bulked up a little bit more compared to his predecessor, and the car part distribution is redistributed so that the rear of his car becomes his chest and the front of the car becomes the legs. The kibble looks more evenly distributed across the thighs, kneecaps, and both parts of the arms. Although the kibble's looking a little bit kibblier on the back. At least it's not on the butt. But two-piece kibble on the back. And his feet are much more sturdier than his previous form, thanks to the ratchets and the additions of heel wheels that are offset to make an A stance. Also, his shoes have right and left unaesthetically pleasingly molded right in there. Copyright 2012 Young Toys Incorporated, made in China. The letter Y motif is mostly condensed in the torso. The obvious silver Y above the crotch clip, non-show accurate crotch clip, also juxtaposed by his shiny chrome cheekbones into that more narrower looking Y-shaped head visor. Much like original Axe's head, it went from being puffy and round to more narrow and streamlined. It's pretty premium to have this many color apps and chrome in this one toy when there's only used in a few spots. Yeah, the only place of chrome gold here, the only place of chrome silver. Also got some hidden greebling in there, which would also serve as the car underside hydraulics and pistons and vents. Also easily removable chest armor. You can't hide that. Secondary colors are white and red. The same as Evolution Axe. Not his white, but the red accents. Well, there was a bit of a difference in the original versions where, you know, Tobot Axe has light blue, but yeah, they're both red. Comparing the duo side by side, it kind of looks like Axe is actually scrawnier in some places, while Y is more rounded out in his limbs throughout, and also more generally curved. Well, he still has a lot of straight lines in his robot mode only parts, but they are still more gentle curves and more facets and edges to make him a more rounded appearance than the rather blocky nature of Evolution X. But the rear view mirrors on the front of the shoulders is not the most ideal look. Just nitpicking there. Is there a minority that wishes this neighborhood mecha machine had a laser blaster, a loose, meaningful accessory, and not just this cosmetic loose accessory? Now to talk down his articulation. Head on a slight swivel. His short, stumpy arms at least go all the way around. Shoulders only have a few clicks on these soft-loaded, these soft-strung ratchets. But plenty of clicks in the outward shoulders. Try doing that. But only two clicks at an obtuse elbow with separate pieces but no bicep. And bonus spring-loaded wrists. Too bad they're spring-loaded because you can't get any good poses with that. Not even a swivel. Leg 4 and 4 clicks. 4 clicks, but yeah, the really unsightly clashing kibble between his leg shins and the jutting side car windows that clashes with this leg and the waist swivel. Transformational waist swivel that would be really useful if this thing didn't get in the way, and you have to get out of the way by sliding this entire canopy so that it goes over his head so he can get the full rotation, but that's really inconvenient and unsightly. That's no sonic spread. Limited obtuse actual knee, but a much more ranged transformational knee. And not much in the foot except about 10 clicks in the ratchet foot. Another pretty fine old Tobot toy that holds up to this day. And a bit more so than Axe in both the original and the newer iterations. I guess he just has a few more points of aesthetic pleasability and more extra functional joints and such. And he's also better in the third adventure iteration because he got those bicep swivels. I finally got the straight out of a new box experience for all 3 forms of these legacy Tobot characters. I guess pretty legacy lasting long enough so I could get these 2 new in box this year, but my Avenger X and Y are boxed up in Korea, so no reviews on that, sorry. Well, that's all the plans I have for reviewing any large Tobots. I wasn't that quite motivated to get any of the Tobots new in box back in Korea, and I'm still not that motivated to get much of them here. I still have a couple of out of stock Amazon Tobots on my wish list though.